Hi, I'm Mark. Welcome back to Foothill Paint Fabrication. Well guys, it got me. Burnout. I'm getting a little burned out on this project. I'm not going to start another one, but I do need to figure out which direction I'm going. I haven't been in the shop 2 or 3 days. It kind of lost my focus, lost my energy. Almost 2 weeks straight of being in the shop working 95-degree heat all day and night. It's just kind of worn me down, and I just kind of ran out of gas. Now, I was kind of lost, honestly. I didn't know which direction I want to go. I know I need to get back and get going on the front end here, but I thought, you know what, I really need a win. I haven't really finished anything. So the deck lid is almost done. And I thought, well, I'll flip this over, we'll beautify the other side, block this out, final sand it, and then, I'll feel like I got something done. I can't spray color on it, but I feel like I got something done. But I know it needs to wait. It needs to set a little bit longer. I've got the hood out. I need to get that on. So I was just kind of wandering in circles really in my mind trying to figure out what direction I need to go. So we're going to change it up a little bit today. I've been thinking about building my own hinges for the hood. And I've looked at a lot of billet hinges, and some of them, I just found 2 last night. They look identical from 2 different manufacturers. And one of them said that I needed a 5/16 gap at the back here. And a lot of them have the same kind of limitation, worse than the factory. The factory gap was, I could get it down to 1/4 inch and it doesn't rub when you raise and lower it. And I think I might be able to at least, I know I can at least get a 1/4 inch gap. I'd like to get it down smaller than that. So we're going to try to build our own hinges. So let me bring the camera around. I'll show you kind of what my plan is, and then we'll get up to the CNC plasma cutter and we'll cut some test pieces and just see if we can get a proof of concept going here and try to make this work. All right guys, here are my factory hinges. This one's was pretty tight. This one was a little wobbly, so this is the one I cut apart. So what I did was I cut all the rivets loose and I took it apart. And I modeled all these parts in Fusion 360, as you can see right here. So I have all the parts. They don't look the same, as you can tell, because we're not going to use a spring. We're going to use a gas shock. So some of these parts are not needed. I plan on reusing the base piece that goes on the inside of the fender and reusing the upper piece, the adjuster for the hood that goes on the bottom side of the hood. These other parts were all redesigned or redrawn, so I basically made them identical for proof of concept right off the bat. It took 6 or 7 tries to get this arc right. I kept running the calculations on measuring the arc. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I think I finally got it. So the plan is to cut these pieces out of 1/4 inch plate and then reassemble this thing with the new design in mind, and then just get proof of concept. Can I even make this work? Can I make it match the old one? And then we'll go from there. So let's go up to the garage where the CNC is sitting, and we're going to go ahead and cut these pieces out of some 1/4 inch. I think I might go to 5/16 when we're done, because I want to cut windows in this stuff, and maybe even a Pontiac logo or something in one of the pieces, so it looks kind of nice when it's open. But yeah, let's go up there and see if we can cut that 1/4 inch and see how these pieces fit together. All right, we had a little misfire on the first one. Let's try that again. All right guys, obviously that didn't work out so well, so we're gonna have to figure this out. All right guys, lesson learned. Don't push your consumables too far. It just wouldn't fire. I should have stopped as soon as it didn't fire on the first one and put fresh tips in, but I didn't. So this chunk of steel is gone. So let's reset and try that again. All right, let's try this again. All right, that looked a lot better. Not all the holes popped out, but I'm sure we can just hit them with a hammer. Let me get that out of there. We'll knock the pieces out and see how they look. All right, they cut pretty well. Just a quick hit with a punch and they pop right out. So I think we're doing all right. I just got to clean the dross off everything. Cutting 1/4 inch is not what I usually do, so maybe my settings weren't quite right. All right, just a quick run with the flapper disc should clean these up real nice. All right guys, we did pretty good on the hard ones. So these all line up perfectly. This one, it looks like everything lines up. This one, not so much. And this one is off as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those plates in two and bolt them to each other and then tack them and weld them together. Working with steel, you can do that. These are all okay. I do need to drill these holes out. I had them burn 1/2 inch and 3/8 holes for each one, but they're a little undersized, so we're going to go ahead and drill those out. So let me take care of all that, and then we're going to try to put this thing together and see if it matches the original one when it goes up and down. All right guys, I got it all bolted together. I got those two pieces lengthened to the proper length. And this piece here is pretty critical because it's the timing between the front arm and the back arm, that length right there. And there's not much to play with there. So what I did was I bolted both hinge bases together so they're identically lined up. And then I got a board back here in the back to see how they land together. Let me go ahead and put the camera down and we'll operate them and see how they look. All right, so the one that I didn't touch at all, it's still pretty stiff. I mean, it's got quite a bit of wobble, but it is old. So this one works pretty good. But this piece right here had some offsets built into it on the factory piece, and I didn't duplicate those yet. So we're having a little bit of issue with these arms hitting each other. But if we raise them up both at the same time, like this, and I try to keep them parallel, you can tell they're pretty close to the same exact, lining up. And obviously when the hood's up, I don't care if it's perfect, but when it goes down, that's the part I'm really worried about because I don't want a big giant gap in the back up against the windshield wiper cowl. And that's the reason I'm doing all this. So we've got a little bit of a slop here. My bolts are all loose and everything, but I can duplicate those arms. That's no big deal. In the worst case scenario, I could put different bushings in here and basically duplicate a factory hinge. But I want to go beyond that. I want to figure out why does this thing need such a big gap in the back. And on these billet hinges, I know at least 1 or 2 of them do need that. And I'm worried that the rest of them need it as well. So I like a nice tight gap back there so it looks really good. I don't want some gigantic 5/16 gap. So I'm going to keep playing with this a little bit, but we've got this part done. And this piece here obviously is the timing mechanism between these two to make sure they rise up. And ultimately this part right here, how it settles down at the last moment before the hood latches. So I'm going to kind of mess with this a little bit, see what I can figure out, and I'll bring you back. We'll see what it looks like. All right guys, this is where we're at right now. So I did put the offsets in this piece right here. What I did was cut about halfway through, or maybe a little bit farther than halfway through here and here. And I just bent it to match the other one. So that seems to be working out. We got plenty of clearance there. On the final version, we can just bend it and then just weld that in and finish it. It'll look fine. On this piece and this piece, I welded a stud on the back side. So it just tightened this up, and I couldn't get nuts on the back side because it was hitting. So that just tightens all this up. And then I was having a problem with this not closing down far enough. So what I did was, you see this arm and this arm now are identical. What I did was I gave up on this curved one that we had extended, and the one where it wouldn't cut right the first try, I got that one out of the steel, and then all I did was drill the holes the exact same distance as this one, and then I was able to use it because it comes straighter along here and then it dives down. On the final version, we're just going to come straight out a little bit farther and come down. It doesn't matter at all on the operation. The distance between here and here is all that matters the most, and clearance. So I think we're looking pretty good. It's a lot tighter than it was. It's feeling pretty good. I think the next step is to go ahead and install the original one on the car and this one on the car, and just lift the hood and see how it works, and try to figure out the best way to try to improve this so we can tighten up that gap at the back and make this thing operate really nice. Before I do that, I want to lengthen these slotted holes. I didn't feel like I had enough adjustment when it was up in the car originally, so I want to make it so I can raise this up a little bit higher. Possibly the modifications we did to the hood caused that problem. So I'm gonna oblong these holes down a little bit more, and then we'll put them in the car and see how they work. All right, guys, got them both installed, and the hood pretty close to adjusted where I like it. And I think even though it's kind of hacked up where I cut in for clearance, I think it looks better than the factory one already. So we got the holes slotted on both of those, so I had plenty of adjustment. All we have to do now is raise and lower it and check it out, see how it looks. But it's looking really good. Pretty tight this way when I jiggle it. You know, I try to rock it back and forth. It's all pretty solid. So I think we got a pretty good, you know, starting point on this. So let's put the cameras down and check it out, see how it goes up and down. All right, guys, it's raised up as high as it'll go. The factory one still has the stop installed. So let's go ahead and lower it down. Looking pretty good. I'm really happy with it, but I'll show you in the back the problem that's causing the gap issue where you need a lot more gap in the back. All right, guys, I got just basically not even a stir stick gap in here right now, which is really what I want. I want it, you know, nice and tight, but that causes problems. So let me raise and lower the hood a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean. So the first inch or two in the front, see how it dips in the back? And since those pieces are curved, they dip down and then it binds right there in the center. It touches right there. Of course, that's going to rub paint off. So that's kind of the problem. And if it didn't dip like that, we'd be fine. It wouldn't, you know, wouldn't cause the problem. And I think if the hinges were super tight, no play at all, I don't think it would dip near as much. But with it dipping down and then it kind of goes back a little bit. So I have an idea how to fix that. I think if we build really good hinges, it's not going to dip down as much. And then I have another idea, possibly how to correct that as well. All right, guys, my idea is a rubber adjuster, just like we have on the front here. Now that holds the hood exactly where we want it, but in the back, the hinges do all the work. That we're relying on those to do everything, the adjustment and to keep it from rubbing. So I was thinking, what happens if we put one back here? And that way, when the hood goes to open, it can't dip past that stop. Now, this hood does dip and then go open like this. So whatever we do, it'll hit, right? So we may be able to install one on the underside of the hood so the adjuster goes with the hood instead. And then all it has to do is land back down here when we close. And that would basically solve the problem. You guys let me know if you think that's a good idea. I think it would work. And of course, that's a fail-safe, is once we get these hinges built, they may be so tight we don't have this problem, but I think that could be a solution as well. All right, guys, we're doing pretty good on our prototype. So I'm happy with this arm. I'm happy with this arm. This we can modify a little bit. It can be lightened up a tremendous amount. This arm we're going to have to remake, redesign. It's going to need to come out here farther and then double back. That way I don't have to notch it out quite like this. You know, I don't want to be doing that. I was considering, you know, the hood is straight up where it's going to be on lock. And I was going to try to, you know, window in, you know, the shape of the Pontiac emblem right there, but I drew it in with chalk. It just doesn't look good. I do plan on, you know, lightening these up by putting windows in them. So let's move back over to Fusion 360, and I'll kind of show you a couple of my ideas. And we need to definitely get this recut so we can keep fiddling with this. And then the next step is trying to figure out how to get a gas shock in here to make this thing stay up when we raise it up. All right, guys, we're back in Fusion 360, and you can see I've already modeled it up. I did extend the distance from here to where it turns. Hopefully we'll clear so we don't have any of those problems. I will probably make this out of paper first, just some construction paper, and see how hold it up to the hinge and see if all this clears. If not, I'll just remodel it. As you can see here, I put some windows in it to lighten it up. I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. I think I can do better. It's just not very stylized, kind of boring, I think. But you guys let me know what you think, because we will be putting windows in all the arms to lighten them up and make them look a little nicer. But we're looking pretty good here so far, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I'll make it out of construction paper and test fit it. Next, we need to move over and look at the gas shock placement. Okay, here's a billet hinge from CVF Racing. You can see the gas shock right here. It attaches to the rear arm, so this would be the front over here, and that would be the rear back by the windshield wiper cowl. So they attach it to the base plate right below the adjuster, and then they attach it to the arms itself on the rear arm, how it flares out back here. So that's a pretty good design. I like that. I can actually read the numbers off of this gas shock, so I'm going to be looking for those. I think they're 90 pounders. I'm not sure, but I got to figure that out. So we need to start figuring out how we're going to attach that. But before we can do that, we need to slim down that base plate, the factory base plate, and kind of figure out what we're going to do there. All right, guys, it's getting a little late and I'm getting hungry, so I think we're going to wrap this one up here pretty quick. So I do need to lop off the spring perch right here, so I'm just going to cut it off a little high and leave a little ear sticking up here. I have no idea which way this thing's going to go, so we may need something on there. So we'll take care of that. I'll get all the paint off and get all the rust off. So the plan is on this is to use shoulder bolts and bronze bushings for everything. I think it'll make a nice tight hinge that doesn't wobble or anything and should have really smooth actuation. I've looked at so many billet hinges out there, way more than I even imagined existed, and they're all using little tiny ball bearings. And the problem with those is they're really good this way, but you know, side to side they always jiggle, and if you put it on an arm that long, it's just going to accentuate that. You know, a little bit of play at the bottom is going to be a lot at the top, and I don't want that hood wobbling back and forth when I'm trying to raise and lower it. So bronze bushings is the way I'm going to go. I'm not sure why they're using ball bearings. The hood doesn't get raised and lowered that much, and it's not like it spins up to 1,000 RPM. So I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it, but I think bronze bushings and shoulder bolts would be the way to go. So what I plan on doing is going over using Dave's lathe and making some buttons to fill these holes right here. So these are 1/2-inch holes, and obviously we need a smaller hole than that to thread into. So I'll make a button that fits inside there with a shoulder on it, and we can just slide it through till it's flush over here, weld it on the back side, even weld it on this side, grind it smooth, and then we'll have a hole in the middle to tap, and that'll be right where the shoulder bolt tightens into with some Loctite. So that's kind of how I'm going to take care of that. We'll do similar things for the arms, figure out which side gets the bushing, which side gets the threads, but that's kind of my game plan for right now. But I think we made some pretty good progress today, and I'm going to cut this off and get the paint off this thing, and we'll start fresh on the next one. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. Something different, and I needed different to kind of get me out of that funk of sanding and just being out there every day for so long in the heat. But yeah, I think this is possible. I think I can make my own hinges and make them better than some of those billet hinges. Now, it's not going to be billet, it'll be steel, but you know, once they're all painted and everything, I think they're going to look really nice. But I do need your help. All your eyes help me. If you see something I'm not thinking of, or you got a better idea, drop a comment, let me know. I'll look into it, I promise. I mean, I'm no expert on this stuff. I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. So thanks for joining me here at Foothill Paint Fabrication. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Mash that bell and drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. We'll see you on the next one.